Okay, it's been a while since I've been tinkering with this old beast, this old gal. I did want to explore a little bit about the tremolo, a bit more about the tremolo, what was going wrong with it. Essentially, this is what it is. There's a photoresistor, a neon lamp that was in there. These two are just orientated about like that, and there's a shrink tubing around it which I cut apart to get this part. There's nothing at all wrong with this lamp, this neon, so keep that anyway. This photo cell foobar, I'm not entirely sure what the root failure was with this one. It doesn't look quite right looking at the resistor side of it, but you know what, now granted I'm cutting apart and handling it and everything, but the way these leads are fastened to this substrate, which is some sort of alumina, I think, like a porcelain or ceramic, but the way these leads are attached, any movement like this breaks the connections, and both of these are sad. I mean, I'm not bending the wire, that's pivoting about the connection point to the cell, and they're both like that. Now granted, I've been handling it, and you know, I measured this and before I tore that apart, and I already noted that this was faulty, but that may have had something to do with it. This thing is conformally coated with some sort of polymer, and you know, the reason they do that is because these things are a little bit sensitive to moisture. So anyway, that's what that's about. Do a quick, quick run over of that. And you'll pardon me for a moment, I'm going to refocus this to something different. Back in a flash. Okay, moving on to the reverb part of this beast. Here's the blown reverb driver transformer. This drives the reverb tank, the speaker half of it. Let's see, I set to measure resistance. Here's the secondary of it, low impedance, DC ohms, about 1.1 ohms, whatever the leads are here, 0.2, so call it an ohm, DC. The primary of this, the high impedance side, totally open, completely open. It's not, neither of these are connected to anything. So that's what went wrong. And I pointed out earlier, I've since scraped them off so I could get to see the part number on this. There was wax. There were wax drips on this housing, which this thing hangs this way when mounted in the amp. So that's what's wrong. I've already ordered the part, a replacement part. I'm pretty sure that'll work out okay. You know, it's really not terribly critical for this. But it might be interesting to Oh, I'm sorry about the traffic noise. Open this up. Have a look inside. It's no damn good as it is. Anyway, these are bagged out dikes, repurposed just for this sort of thing. Yeah, something to, stick down in there. If we can get this open. Oh yeah, melted wax all over this thing. I doubt, it's possible, but I doubt that they just dipped this whole assembly in. I think it was dipped, would have been dipped, the core would have been dipped in the windings prior to assembly with this and the end bells. Let's see, is there something to get in here? So I don't want to damage this much because it might be salvageable. One never knows. Ooh. Lots of mildew. Looking to see if maybe one of these leads shorted the case and did something there. There's nothing obvious. I don't see anything that looks burned. Well, maybe I do. Oh. See if we can peel this back a little bit. And actually now I'm looking at it, something doesn't look quite right about this. This thing, the more I'm looking at it, you know, this thing's got, it's been subjected to some heat. Yeah, it's time. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time with this. It's blown. Got a replacement coming. Keep this for further investigation. And if I find something specific with it other than it's just overheated, I'll include a vid of it. Actually, what I'm looking at real closely right now is the core. Wondering if there's a gap in this. It doesn't appear to be. Anyway, so yeah, it's just a. There's nothing special about this. It's cheap. It's made cheap. And rightly so. I read these are rated 3.5 watts matching transformer. So anyway, get rid of this. New one's coming, hopefully. If that turns out, well, either way, I got the parts on order. If it gets here and everything's all good, you'll hear about it. If it doesn't get here or it's not all good, you'll hear about that too. Either way. So for right now, I've got in here connected in this small power transformer. Let me check here, see if you're seeing what I'm seeing. You ain't. Sorry about that. That should work. This guy here, similarly sized physically to this, and in no way was it designed for this application, but it should function at least as it to test this. I've not tried this with it wired in as it is. Found out one of the tubes I was playing with, I tested it, it was bad. So yeah, what was it? An RCA branded, it was a 12AU7A. It did marginally functional, but there was something highly microphonic and suffered from gain issues. I don't know. Interesting how that works. So anyway, that tube's been swapped out. It's still not fully loaded with tubes. Right now it's got the solid state rectifier in it. It's got output tubes. Everything else is fitted except for the normal input channel front end tube, 12AT7 or 7025 or whatever the heck you put in there. Don't need that. I'm only interested in the effects channel right now because I want to see if this will drive the reverb tank and actually get reverb out of it. So, as I said, the blown transformer's gone. Almost sitting right here, laughing at me. I've already tied the primary in. This would normally be in its intended. This transformer's intended purpose. This would be 120 volts AC, 60 hertz, and this would be somewhere between 6 and 12 volts AC, 60 hertz out of this. Well, it's just going to be my low impedance side, and that's my high impedance side. Tube drives this, the primary. This drives the speaker side of the reverb tank or pan. So let's see. I think I got everything right. Speaker. I probably want to have a speaker plugged in. And it goes there. Do I want to have... Yeah, I think I do. Pardon me while I drop stuff all over. There's the reverb tank. I guess we can put him right up under there. And let's see. I've already roamed this out, and it does ring. As either side working as outputs from this into the amp, and I know that much works. So I've got this one is input, so it's input to the tank. Yes, that's the smaller assembly here. Oh boy, I better check again. I'm sorry. See if you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's probably better. Yeah. So in this particular model unit, reverberation unit, one of these assemblies is larger. It's got more iron on it, and the other one's smaller, less iron on it. But one, they do function either way, but you better have it put the way they intended it. Some of these, there's a difference in impedance that's significant between the two, the input and the output, so it's important to get that right. There's a number on here, 95A430, if that's of any help. 122-692. Don't know what that's for. I think that's part number. This 95A430. So input, that's going to be the one that's driven, so leave that alone right now. And the output one, that's the one coming from the tank into the amp. Now, the amp says output. Well, that reverb output means amp input. And I'm going to look at that again just to make sure. Yep, that's the one. Okay. Let's turn the volume down. Down. All the way down. And who cares what else is set right now. Power up. Still running this on a 100 watt ballast, just in case. Well, fiddling around with dummying and transformers. I've got no business ever being put in. Take a few moments for this to start to cook. Well, you know what? I meant to bring something and I forgot to bring. I meant to bring a 9-volt battery first to do a quick check on something and I forgot. So I have to go get one. In the meantime, is there anything? Speakers plugged in, connected. Okay. As usual, something doesn't seem right. What? I'm getting nothing out of the speaker. Nothing at all. It's not because of this. I can see I got power. Oh, for crying out loud. You gotta turn standby off of standby. There we are. Noise. Sorry about that. Okay, so got the reverb tank connected in. If I tap on that, it should. Where's the reverb tone? Yes. Right. Reverb volume up. Okay, so reverb tanks sending. You know what? I'm gonna let this roll. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I just went to get 9-volt battery. Yeah. And I'm gonna, let's see, I'm just gonna, this is connected to the input to the tank, which is live, and I'm just gonna tap this on here. Oh joy. So that tank is working. I think I already demonstrated that before. It just needs to be properly driven. And if not properly, we're going to drive it. That's some clip leads. Sheesh. So just gonna attach the speaker side of the tank. Trying to get it short here to the secondary of this transformer. It's interesting. I'm not sure the phase. It may not matter. Probably does. Oh. Let's see. I'm going to need input signal. I think a guitar would probably be a good idea. Just turn the volume down. Here's something. Oh, I hear reverb. Oh, definitely. Oh, geez, I'm sorry about that. That's reverb. Unhook this. Put that. Sorry, I'm just making noise. Just put this in the opposite phase and see if it makes any obvious difference. No. Not by my ears, anyway. That's interesting. Although, think about this, what that does, this tank does, phase shouldn't matter, especially since only one end, in this case, I think it's this guy's output grounds the case. So if you were cheap Johnny, you could just put this in the amp. It'll fit right where the original one did. It's not the best practice, but in a pinch, well, why not? It does work. Well, the thing proves this amp. It's all there. It's all working. There's maybe some light issues here and there, a noisy resistor or two somewhere down here. Moisture issues. I still have not done anything about this first input number one. Well, the normal input number one jack is a little goobered. And I still haven't run it off of ballast. I have not run it, well, I have not run it without ballast. I'm not going to do that yet until I'm satisfied about some other things. And one of those, of course, is getting this transformer replaced. Well, I should be grabbing that. At least not while holding on to this guitar. By the way, just a reminder, while I'm doing this, This chassis is grounded, earth grounded, right there. Safety reasons, and also testing purposes. If I lift that off, it will buzz. I've tried. And flipping the ground polarity switch does have some impact. In fact, why not? Let me get up off my butt here and on my shoes. Rubber soles. Okay. I'm just going to stick that there. Right now the chassis is not earth grounded. It is connected through that depth capacitor to one side of the line or the other. So that's still got a buzz, but it's quieter. And it's got a buzz, but it's louder. So I'm going to guesstimate that that ties the line through that oh, traffic, I'm sorry. That ties the hot side of the line through that capacitor directly to chassis, if that were to short live chassis. And that would be the neutral side. But it's still buzzing. These days, with just about every outlet that's safe to use, it's going to have the third prong, earth ground green. Quiets it right up. Why you would not do that nowadays? This makes no sense. So that's why. And right now, that cap is doing nothing. Chassis right to ground. Now, in one position, the cap's got 120 volts across it, and in the other position, it's got maybe a few volts across it. And nevertheless, that capacitor has no business being where it is in anything connected across the line. So it's going to get isolated out. I'll leave the piece in there, but it's not going to be connected. If that's going to happen before this leaves here. It's also going to have a grounded 3-wire line cord on it. Otherwise, it's not leaving here with a cord on it. Well, we can leave here without a cord, but if it does with a cord and you can plug it in and try it, it's going to be safety ground. But anyway, enough of that rant. Lost my place. You might be able to hear some noise. Almost certainly it's something in here. It could be a capacitor that's a little bit leaky, or just a resistor that's noisy. That happens. It can be a little bit of a pig to ferret out. Well, there's a mixed metaphor. That could be a little bit of a pig to find out which one's causing it, and somewhat of a trial and error. But this whole beast is worth that kind of trouble. If not by me, somebody. At least it'll leave here with the owner knowing that yeah, she can work just the way she is right now. A couple of parts replaced. I've had to replace only 2 of the 9 tubes in here are any good at all, and they're in here right now. The other ones are spares I use for testing purposes and so forth. So anyway, that's it, I think, for this. I've gone on long enough. There will be more. At some point, hopefully, we'll get to do a full run power output test and maybe find out something else is wrong with it, but I doubt it. See it.